It's Louie here, and welcome to the weekend. Yes, I did get my remaining shipment of those little Germania 1 ounce chiclets, and I'm very happy with those. Really glad to have them and stack them at around $30 an ounce. So we'll do a little shopping later, and we'll see what's up out there after the smackdown or the partial smackdown we had on Friday. But today I want to show you how silver is actually equal to or beating the S&P 500 over the last 5-year period. Okay, let's get going with that. Here is a chart. This is from E-Trade, and it is the S&P 500 in the colored bars, and silver, or, well, a proxy for silver, the SLV ETF, over that same time period. And you can see we have just reached equilibrium between silver and the S&P. Of course, I'm going to argue that silver is about to break out, whereas the S&P is about to break down. But, there's more to the story than that. If you are trading back and forth, your silver, gold, perhaps on the gold to silver ratio, or if you're doing something like I just did, watching for the dips in both spot price and premium, you can trade in and out of certain products by walking into your LCS. And the trade that I did, or the purchase that I did with Brian over at Vermilion Enterprises, you can find his videos on YouTube. He has transparent buy and sell price. Well, here are 3 tubes of Eagles that I purchased from him under 29. All right, and this was a couple of months ago when you'll find my videos where I said now is the time to buy Eagles. Even though they had a substantial premium, the premiums had dropped considerably, as they had on junk silver. And you know what? In the future, they will drop again. These things are cyclical, and you'll see high premiums. And once again in the future, at some point, you'll see much lower premiums. Well, the same Eagles that I bought for under $29 an ounce, he is now paying $10.50 an ounce over spot. Okay, so let's call that $36. So 36 versus 29, there's a $7 profit on 60 silver Eagles. There's $300 if I wanted to sell my Eagles at the moment. And I have to admit, I am thinking about it. That is a very nice premium that he's paying. But I probably won't, because I think spot price is going to be going higher. So the other thing that happens when you do trades, purchases, and sales with a good LCS, and there are lots of bad LCSs, and there are a majority of horrible pawn shops, and there are states where they really don't treat you fairly when it comes to generic rounds and bars, for example, due to the pawn shop rules. But if you have found that transparent LCS like Vermilion, then you could go ahead and take that $300 profit. Now, is that subject to taxes? Okay, that's where I want to get into for a minute. The thing about the parity that silver has achieved with the S&P, exact parity at the moment with returns over the last 5 years based only on spot, not on premiums. Premiums can increase your profits or decrease your profits, as the example I just showed you. But everything that is in the S&P, you're going to pay taxes on. If you're trading in a Roth, you've already paid those taxes, but that's apples to oranges. For the most part, people, would be buying S&P in a vehicle that will be taxed. Let's just say that your federal and state tax rate is 28%. Excuse me. So now we're at parity, but what has happened to the S&P is whatever profits you've had, and let's call that 50% over the last 5 years, you're going to you're going to take a solid 28% haircut when you pay the taxes. So now that's about a quarter of the 50%. Let's say you're sitting at about 38% now, and gold is still sitting up here at 50. Will LCSs issue you a 1099? No, not if you're, in the minor league as I am. I'm not in the major league. I'm playing in the minor league. And reporting of capital gains or ordinary gains, in this case, it's only been a couple months, is strictly on the taxpayer. So you decide if you would be paying those capital gains taxes or not when there is absolutely no reporting on the purchase and no reporting on the sales. And you can see how silver could, in that scenario, and I'm not recommending you avoid taxes, I'm just pointing out something, you can see how silver has actually beat the S&P on a 5-year basis post-tax, if you didn't include the tax on the profits you just made on those silver eagles. Okay, but again, this chart here is only looking at spot price, and you can see we are right at parity. And again, there are so many videos about the economic collapse, coming pandemonium, death of the dollar, banks going to zero. I mean, you have to admit the risk in the market for what are traditional investments like stocks or CDs for those with substantial amounts of money are greater than they have been in quite some time. The Federal Reserve itself is predicting a recession. All right, if you want to buy into the stock market headed into a recession, then you're probably an ultra long-term investor. I don't. What I want to buy going into a recession is bonds because interest rates will ultimately reverse when the economy stalls and drops, which is contrary to what happened on Friday. We had a strong labor report, and the market got euphoric. Again, we're getting yet another chance to buy bonds into a recession. I won't say any more about that because I don't think anybody else trades bonds. Like in your IRA, I highly recommend a self-directed IRA if you have the ability to do that, and you can trade metals to your heart's content. And, someday, you will pay taxes on that unless it's in your Roth IRA, and then load that sucker up with miners and other commodities that have a chance to go to the moon, and you'll pay no tax when you take that out because you paid the tax before you put it in. But nonetheless, here we are at a 10-year mark. I won't talk about bonds anymore, but we've got the parity. Let's look at a couple other periods here and see how silver has done. I picked 5 years randomly. Okay, so let's go back to 1 year. And the market is up. I don't know if that's year to date. That is 1 year back. Okay, SLV is beating the S&P on a 1 year look back by about 15%. Again, taxes aside, the 0% you've returned on the S&P, there'd be no taxes. Okay, let's go back 3 years. And silver is beating the S&P. S&P up 40%, silver, SLV up 70%. Again, taxes not considered. After you pay the tax on the 40%, you'll be down closer to 30. So you have 30 versus 70. You've more than doubled the returns. With the ETF that everybody loves to hate, SLV, you don't have to invest in the SLV. You can invest in bullion. You can invest in PSLV, the Sprott Physical Fund. Let's go 10 years, and I don't know how we'll do over 10 years. Let's see. Okay, so now we've got the story. Silver has not done well versus the S&P for 10 years. And I think it does make the case that if you're an ultra long-term investor saving for your ultimate retirement 30 years from now, you do have to be in the stock market. You don't have to be in the stock market when we're in a recession and we're in a downtrend, and I do think that silver. Just looking at the 10-year chart here, I think silver will hit the 50% return mark, and I do think the S&P will probably drop, down to at least 100% return, and then taxes aside. So the markets have beaten SLV on a 10-year look back, but it was one of the most expansive, debt-driven, government stimulated, presidential pumping periods we have seen, whether it's NTFs or it's SPACs or it's to the moon with artificial intelligence, Tesla, Amazon, Netflix, Apple, etc. But you know what? Past leaders are not always future leaders, and I think we'll see a turn down in kind of the four horsemen of the apocalypse there. Under the hood of the S&P, everything's going down, guys. All right, it is the leaders, whatever the fangs or the magmas or whatever they call them these days. Everybody's got all their money in 5 stocks because everybody's got their money in ETFs, and ETFs are market weighted for the biggest stocks. And when they crack, the hollow earth below the surface will cave in, and we'll see that reduction. But I do want to make the point that, and you have to acknowledge that the stock market on a 10-year look back has done better than silver. Okay, now that doesn't mean that silver couldn't double. Okay, on Monday that could actually happen. It probably will pull back a little bit more, maybe into the 24s. But we got a lot of upside in silver. Okay, I don't know how gold would look here. Maybe we should try to add a gold line. But just to make the case again, I do think that, not GLS, GLD, I do think that you want to be diversified into the stock market for you younger guys. Okay, you don't want to sit out the stock market returns, but now is not the time to get into that. So here is, I just got the wrong stock on here. Okay, so here is gold. Now, gold has done, 25% better than silver on a 10-year look back. And you want to have gold in your portfolio, and you want to have silver, and you probably want to have stocks at some point. Let's go back to 5 years and check the returns. Look at that. 5 years, we are at parity with the S&P for gold and silver. GSR back down around 80, down from 90 most recently, and I think headed lower. I think the GSR is going to break lower. Silver is going to go higher in relation to gold. Let's take a look at a 3-year. Okay, on a 3-year, this is interesting. We have silver beating the pants off the S&P, and we have gold below. All right, so gold 20% below the S&P, and silver 40 to 70, 30% above the SLV. Again, keep in mind the taxes on precious metals and whether that creates a kind of a leg up for you over full 1099 reporting and tax reporting. So here is why you want to, now the gold is in the purple line, and silver is in the gold line, if that doesn't confuse you. But this is why you want silver and gold, okay? It is tortoise and the hare. They both get where they're going, but they go at different times, at different speeds. In the end, they will calibrate at a historical ratio, probably around 60 GSR. Will the S&P be lower by then? Yeah, I think so. Will gold and silver be higher by then? Yeah, I think so. So if I were putting together a stock portfolio, I would certainly not be long the stock market, but I would be long the metals. I might be long the miners. I would certainly be long bonds. And you may want to buy healthcare or utilities or dividend paying, ultra conservative blue chips. Construct your portfolio any way you like. But this does tell you that gold is a reliable long-term store of wealth, whereas silver is more speculative and can blow the socks off gold. Okay, and if gold gets through all-time highs, silver is going to make a move. Will it get over all-time highs? Will silver get over, 26 up to 27? Well, the selling on Friday was massive volume right out of the gate. Looking at the SLV, it was a smackdown. Okay, that's my assumption. It may not be true. It was a smackdown. And I think silver and gold, as I've said many times, have very powerful enemies. So you are fighting them every step of the way. However, as we look at these returns and keep in mind the taxes, so you could be up 40% on your stock holdings. Of course, taxes aside, that'd be less when you claim the profit. But really, do you want those dollars? Do you want to claim that profit? Do you want to put that back into fiat that's shrinking 5% a year in its purchasing power, possibly more if you don't believe in the government statistics? Do you want to be in a bank where Janet Yellen has said you are not guaranteed protection if deposits exceed $250,000? For those of you so lucky to have that amount of money in the bank, you're not protected. Everybody is running to the money center banks, the 4 or 5 big banks. Well, what happens there if their derivatives turn them upside down? They go to a bail-in. Well, Barney Frank assured that a bail-in is bailed in by guess who? The bank customers. Bail in means they take your money and they give it to the bank and they say, thank you very much. You have just saved your bank. And now your $250,000 is $100,000. And by the way, you can't have it real fast. You got to pull it out over time. Have you tried to go to the bank and get a couple $1,000s recently? Hell no. There's no bank around that'll give you $2,000 on the day you ask for it. You might get 500, etc. So you do want to stack the greenbacks as well. Okay, so I said I'd do a little shopping. Let's go ahead and let's do a little shopping now that spot has fallen. I do not buy on the first day of a smash like that. I usually wait for the second day. Sometimes it's pre-market. Prices have been generally lower pre-market and generally higher post-market. With Friday aside, it was a big smack. Of course, I bought the SLV early in the morning and sold it by afternoon because it recovered maybe half of the drop. People still want to buy silver and gold. It's in an uptrend. So don't think, at least I don't think, that we're turning down to see lower lows here. Absent the crash, the big crash that will happen at some point where the market's going down, 1% an hour stock market. Yeah, I think anything could happen in that scenario. That will likely be in May, probably not. Or it actually could be in June, because May is a strong returning month for the stock market. So it could be June when that happens. But in the meantime, accumulate. Let's not assume Armageddon for metals. Let's take advantage of a lower spot price and the lowest premiums we can find. Okay, I'm going to get on and do a little shopping. If you are looking to buy silver, let's take a look and see what we got going on the clearance events. I'm going to look in a couple places here. They say the silver spot price is $25.72. Yes, I think that's an honest spot price. Okay, SD Bullion, APMEX, Provident, etc. They display fake spot prices. So I really would wish when you guys do your videos from whatever retailer is compensating you, etc. You don't show their spot price. You're misleading people. Spot price is actually obtained for me on Kitco, and the retailers that show you the actual spot price, which would probably be the ask, not the bid. The smaller guys give you a non-massaged story, a non-woke spot price, right? So here we are on Bold, one of my favorite retailers. Let's see what they've got on their silver round. Let's see, shop now. Okay, what do we got going on in their sales? Of course, you don't want to buy the collectibles, guys, unless you got a big old stack and you're just having fun. Let's see, silver rounds. Let's default sort by price and see what they're selling. Let's see what a buffalo goes for on Bold. Here you go. Oh, that's a quarter-ounce buffalo. 1 ounce. Okay, so they start at $29.20, and if you buy 20, $29.02. So about 29 for a buffalo. Now, I don't know why you would buy a buffalo, for example, when you could get this. And there they are. They've got 329 of them. They're selling out everywhere. Okay, Monument, I believe, is out at this point. So 30.92. I got some of mine for as low as 29, I believe. The first batch I ordered. But now they're going for, let's call that 31. Couple dollars over a buffalo. You saw the pictures. They're beautiful, and they will be collectible, in my humble opinion. Okay, so that is what I would buy instead of the 1 ounce round. But let's see what they're charging for kilo bars. You know kilos are my favorite. Okay, and let's look for the lowest price. Sort. Where's my sort? Oh, well, they're not going to give me a sort. Okay, you've got the Asahi at $8.92, $8.96, $900, $9.21, Wall Street Silver, $8.89 for Haraeus. That's a foreign bar. Perth Mint, $8.91. These are pretty bars, these Perth Mint bars. Very nicely done. $9.12. Okay, the Geiger Kilo at $9.12. Remember when I bought these at $7.70 and then a week later they were actually $7.50? There's profit, but again, you're watching the spot price, you're watching for dips, and then you have premium in your stack. Will the LCS give you that premium back on something like a Geiger Kilo? No, you'd have to sell that aftermarket, peer-to-peer, or on eBay. Give up 10% in fees, and there you go. So, but I like having stuff that other people want. So that's why I prefer a little more exotic bullion over a standard, what would it be? A Haraeus at $8.89. Yeah, I think that's the lowest we're going to see. So what is $8.89 divided by 32? $8.89 divided by 32.15. 27.65 minus 25.75, and we're talking $1.90 over spot as we speak for the lowest kilo. I'd like to see that lower, but you don't have to pay $3 over spot, $4 over spot for buffaloes. You can get these kilos, and silver, your LCS will generally buy them from you. Now, he might pay you 50 cents or $1 less than he would pay you for those buffaloes, but you're still in the money. You're in cheap, and you're out at a reasonable price with not too bad a haircut. Okay? So kilos are... they're not 100 ounces. They're not hard to move. It is just where the sweet spot is. Let's look at the 10-ounce bars. Let's see. So you saw that was an under $2 premium on the kilos. So 10-ounce silver bar. I don't want that. We just want the generics. Okay, there's a Pony Express. Oh, that's 100-ounce. 29 an ounce. So there's five over for that 10-ounce bar. 305. That's even more. Let's see. There's 30 an ounce. Oh, that's a nice. It's a nice Geiger 10-ounce at 311. That's pretty decent. Let's see. Any other 10-ounce bars? JBR 290. So 29 an ounce versus 25.75. $4 premium on the 10-ounce bars. You see why I go to the kilos? Okay, let's check somewhere else. I just want to get over real quickly to Scottsdale. Did I do that right? Scottsdale Silver. Here's a Scottsdale Mint. They have some smoking deals over at Scottsdale. Let's shop for silver bars. And, I do think Scottsdale is under-recognized in its time. So the one that I liked here the most, and you can find these on eBay as well, and you might get a little better deal if you get that 3% credit card rebate like I do. Oh man, they raised the price on these. Damn it. These were in the mid to high fives. So spot went down, and well, that might have been pre-market when I was looking at these. So 20 ounces at $6.19. Now you're up at $31 an ounce. It was not that price yesterday morning. Let's see if they have anything cheaper. Boy, that kind of surprised me. That went away fast. They got these chunky, no, not the 100 gram. Where are the 10 ounce? The 10 ounce chunks. They're back in stock. Here they are. Look at the chunky 10 ounce Scottsdale bars. You see that? They haven't even updated the liter page. That says $2.97 on it for the Scottsdale chunky. And you get over here and the lowest price is oh, there it is. They always, Scottsdale, you need to fix this. Okay, the wire and check price needs to come first, and the credit card price needs to come second, okay? I'm just saying, I do that often on your website because everybody else does it the other way, and I mistook the 306 as your cash price. Your cash price is $2.97 for these Scottsdale chunky 10-ounce cast bars. They are beautiful and collectible. And again, if you're going to buy kilos, or you're going to buy something like a JBR recovery bar, or an Italian bar, etc., which generally, people want those less as they just want those less than they do American-made silver, recognizable American silver, with some exceptions. So here we are. You can get one of those from. You may not want to pay that, but this is a bitchin' little bar, and when they go out of production, they're going to bring higher prices. What else do they have that's super dirt cheap? Let's see, the kilos, look at that, $8.79 for a Scottsdale Reserve kilo. Again, kilos, guys, for all the negative press, it's where it's friggin' at, man. You're not buying kilos, you're missing out. Well, you gotta buy 5 to get a decent price. Oh boy. But those are nice bars, Scottsdale Reserve. People sell those on eBay like they're premium, but they ain't that premium, but they are very nicely made. So $8.92 divided by 32. I presume you're not going to buy 5 kilos. $8.92 divided by 32.15 equals $27.74 minus 25. Here's $2 over for Scottsdale Reserve kilos. Okay, good price, much better than Buffalo's. Okay, expect a 6-week delivery time with Scottsdale. They have never reneged on an order to the best of my knowledge, and they, in my mind, never will. It's a very conservatively run bullion company. Very, very good choice if you're just getting into this and you don't know what to do and you don't want to pay $14 premiums for Eagles. Very good choice. Here's 10-ounce bar at 29 an ounce. These stackers are very nice, but I don't think I want to pay 31. And the Kabonk bars, yeah, unfortunately they raised the price on those. These are pretty bitchin'. You want to impress your friends. These 100-ounce long bars, oh, they're out of stock. This one is coming soon. You've probably seen a couple of videos. The Scottsdale Galaxy, there's going to be a very low mintage on these. It's going to turn into a hot commodity. Get on the remind me list for that and get one if you can. You probably will not, but somebody will buy it from you if you do get one of those. Let's see anything else in the 10-ounce that isn't sold out. Yeah, Michelangelo, Wall Street Silver, Tombstones. The Tombstones are nice, but I wouldn't pay that price right now. Tombstone Nugget, $1,000 kilo, no. You got to get those when they're on sale and somebody's giving them away. The 100 gram, 97, yeah, that's okay. And the 5-ounce cast, 30 an ounce, that's okay. Okay, that's what's on Scottsdale. Let's see. So, let's go back to, about the Germanias. Let's just go back to Provident Metals. And about the Zombucks. I bought a bunch of those. Here's $3 over spot for a pressed Asahi. Well, that's a good deal, Provident. $3 over for a 10-ounce pressed bar. Those are high-quality bars. Asahi, that's the company that took out Johnson Matthey. Sorry about this. That's a good buy. Wow, I just stumbled on that. Let's see if they got anything else on sale. Deal page. And I'm going to show you the Zombucks World here in a second. $2.89, yeah, for the Asahi. There's a kilo for $9.13. We've seen those much cheaper. Okay, let's just go to the Zombucks. And this is a series I recommend you collect and don't if you don't want to. I paid, I think, a little less for mine. Yeah, it looks like they're raising the price a little bit, even though silver is going down. I really hope we see a 24 handle on silver Monday. If it did get there, I would use that opportunity to make your purchases. And the other thing that I advise that you buy if you're going to collect these, don't forget the coppers like I did. The display case contains silvers and coppers. I think they only have about 600 of these left. When they're gone, they might be gone, so get one if you're going to do the series. Or, get a few if you want to do a few series. Always a nice collectible and resale item if you are into that. No more about the Zombucks. Okay, so I'll just go back to the lead-in page. Those beautiful Asahi bars. Those are cast bars. They're high quality. Not as desirable as that just reminded me of something as American silver. Let's get over to Britannia. This is my next purchase on a dip. Okay, and I'm going to make a prediction here. And for those of you that play the collectible silver market, this guy right here. Okay, now I'm going to lead in by saying Britannia's, especially modern Britannia's spot. So you could take a sizable haircut on your collector value if they spot. And so if you do buy these, I recommend you get them into capsules right away and you vacuum seal them and you hope for the best. Heartbreak. British Royal Mint has given people so much heartbreak over time. It is ridiculous that they can't make a coin that doesn't spot. And actually, they might be worse than ever. So I've had Britannias that did not spot. I've had Britannias that did. The proofs Britannias spot more than the BUs. In my experience over the last 10 years, The BUs have a better chance. That's why they keep putting these, new fields in there. They're like, maybe we can hide the spots in a new articulated field, and then you'll get one right on the king's cheek or something. You know, I don't know. I'm going to say that right off the bat, so that gives me trepidation. But what this is a modern day collectible. Okay, Britannias are made in the millions. As you know, there is a Type 1, which is Queen Elizabeth. And as you know, there is a Type 2, which is King Charles III. And what will be, in my opinion, a highly desirable lower mintage Britannia, never made again, is going to be what I'm calling the Type 2A. All right. What is going to happen, and I don't know for sure it's going to happen this year. I think it will. They're going to be rotating stock, and King Charles is going to get his crown. All right. When he gets his crown, this coin will never be available again. All right, making it for someone that collects Britannias. I don't know if you collect BU Britannias. I could think of worse things to collect because they're pretty low premium, not on this website. I think you should be able to get them for about $30 an ounce if you shop around. But this is the Type 2A, and when Type 2B comes out, people will realize this is the crownless King Charles. And although I think it is not an attractive effigy, I think it will be a one-off and possibly one of the lowest mintage BU Britannias ever. Well, not going back 20 years. They used to be reasonably low mintage. Let's see if the Type 1s are collecting. See, they have Elizabeth. Oh, it says Elizabeth II. So here's a Type 1, also in 23. They're going. So here, see, they've already put a $3 markup on the Type 1s because Queen Elizabeth will not be returning. So what kind of markup? And there were. I don't actually know what the mintage of the Type 1s were, but I'm going to bet you that the Type 2A Crownless King Charles are going to be definitely as sought after as the last Elizabeth. So that's my advice there. Actually, they've got the 22s marked up. They've got the 19s marked up. I got the 20s marked up. Pretty big markup on Britannias. Yeah. I'm going to have to sell some Britannias, I think. Anyway, so Crownless King Charles, no guarantees, but I think it will be in the lower mintages. And if you were looking for the Type 1 Queen of Elizabeth 2023, I think you'll want the Crownless King Charles. You could even make a set of Type 1, Type 2A, and possibly Type 2B if they release in 2023. But not at Provident. Go find those cheaper somewhere else. I'm going to leave you with that. I hope we get further SmackDown in silver and gold here on Monday. Second day SmackDowns are usually the juiciest. But I don't know, people still want silver and they still want gold, and these markets are in an uptrend, not a downtrend in my opinion. So, check it out, see what you think, make some purchases, and have a great week. You guys take care. Bye.